Oh, I didn't do the countdown. All right, good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Market Open live stream with MadMaverick. So yeah, we want to just kind of come in here early, right before market opens, before the chaos begins. And if you're not prepared, this is a great stream to kind of learn to prepare yourself for market open without just jumping into things, or without plan, right? So just kind of want to recap yesterday, and we can see government shutdown really didn't do a damn thing to the market, right? Anyone here, if they took advantage of those calls yesterday on SPY, made some money on SPY, just put a 1 in the chat if you did. That was quite the big move that we had to a new high, 52-week high. Did anyone take advantage of that big move yesterday? I'm gonna sip on my coffee while I get some feedback there. There we go. That's good. Let me see. I've got a couple of ones here. You took puts. I took a put too, and I took one put towards the top of that morning, and then it just broke through, and then that's when I stopped out. Right? You can just kind of minimize the loss, but just don't hold it all the way to the top, right? So I took a loss in those SPY puts, but at least I kind of topped out my loss once it broke through that high of that afternoon, that morning to afternoon time. But live and you learn. I actually thought, and there's a lot of people probably thought that we're going to top out here, and the day before we topped out about 666, which is not a great number to top out at. Right here, this was Tuesday, and then that's kind of where I took the puts here yesterday, looking for just a breakdown under here, but then we just continue to go on. Now, if you're a part of that live stream yesterday in premium, you got the breakdown of the pre-plan for SPY, right? So that's why I talk about coming in early and to plan both sides of the equation of the trade, because you can't just be bullish bias and just aim for the break to the upside. There's always going to be two sides of the coin, right? So there may be a downside move, and why not take advantage of that downside move or the upside move, but at least have a plan for both sides, right? And if you're a part of the stream at Market Open yesterday in the premium, we look for that breakout above 664. I think it was 664.15. And then take calls to this top of the range that we're at the day before, which, we planned out that was a target here, and that was another target here, which we got, right? If you took calls, you smashed, you got a lot of profits on the table playing the upside. Then we broke through that high that it created the day before, and we made a brand new high once we broke through there and held as support. So pre-planning, getting on, like looking at your contracts, looking at the dates that you want to get involved in with the calls or the puts, having all that planned before market opens is essential for me. And that's why I've been pretty consistent on making profits out of this pre-plan for SPY. So that worked out, right? Calls all the way up. Now, where do we go from here? That's obviously we're at a new high. So we don't have much data we don't have no data to the upside, right? That's brand new high. Where do we go from here? So I am just going to plot out a few. I'm going to delete all of yesterday's stuff, right? Just delete all of yesterday's. And I am going to put on my chart that high that we saw back then. So right here, I'm going to put that high that we saw about 667.29. And then I'm also going to put a fib extension. I think that's what I'm going to use for this target to the upside. Let me see here. I'm going to go from, I'm going to click on here. Fib retracement is the the one that people know the most, right? The fib retracement. I'm going to go down one step down to the trend-based fib extension. I'm going to go from these lows down here that we saw. I'm going to go all the way up to this higher here, and then I'm going to bring it down to this low here. And these are at least going to give me some, not going to give me the exact target to aim if we're going to continue up, but they're at least going to give me a rough estimate, right? And that's, this tool is going to help with that. It's not going to give you the exact targets, but at least somewhere in the ballpark where to aim for, just because we have no data to the upside, right? So that will help. So we got here fib retracement 670.48. We're now at 675.6. So, we could easily go on the smaller time frame and see what we can do with that. So let me go down to the 5 minute even. So all I got on my chart is some support levels, right? So we got supply and demand, pretty much resistance and support. And you can see those by the green little boxes here. They're demand areas where there's buyers that step in at those levels. So we're going to look at those levels for pullback for entries to the upside for continuation. I'm going to put those lines in here as well. I'm going to put it right at the top of this right here, if it will go. There we go. So, and then we got the next target all the way up here, 674. So what I'm going to look for, and I think for me, it's probably going to be the smartest way I trade the continuation to the upside, would be pulling back to this support here, and then look for buyers right off that support to come in, strong buying again, kind of like yesterday, right? We can look at this market open here yesterday where it just pulled back, but then we got a lot of buying pressure come in that pushed it up higher. So I'm going to look for something similar to that, where we pull back, we see some strong buying off this level, and I'm going to type that in now, what level that is. It is 670. If you can't see it because it's a small screen, I'm going to put it in big letters for us over here in black. So we have 670.05 is that level there. So I'd be looking for a pullback there, and then look to take some calls if we push off that level. And then the calls that I would go for is normally about $1 out of the money, and expiration will be for tomorrow. So I'd be looking to take 671 calls, and it will be for October because we're in a new month. Yippee. October 3rd. So that's what I'm going to look to take if we do decide to continue up, maybe pull back, push off that level, and then we see strong volume take this back into a new high. That's where I'm going to look to take. You can go maybe another $1 out the money if you like. That's okay as well. It's a little cheaper for you, so I understand. And now the downside, I'd probably be looking for, I'm going to look for that. There's a gap fill right here, right? From after hours yesterday, we got that gap fill because we opened up a little bit higher in pre-market. So I'd be looking for a loss of 669. So we can look for some movement down here. Maybe take it lower, get the retest, and then take it from there lower, right? So I'd be looking for a loss of this area. And then once we lose this area here, we have an opportunity to fill this gap down here, maybe lower to here, to this after hour action that we saw yesterday. So again, I'd be looking for 6, and we got about a minute left. So let's get going here. 668, I think I go for October 3rd. That's the end of the week, right? So that's what I'll be looking to take there. And I'm going to put that number here. That is 669. I'm just going to put 669 on the dot. So that's the level I want to lose to play downside. That's the level I want to come back to retest, push off this level to play calls. It may just go bananas and just go new highs and not pull back. We'll see how it goes. We got about 10 seconds here. So that is my game plan for SPY. I know it took a little bit longer than normal, which is okay. No need to rush into any trade, right? Unless you're prepared. Let me go through the chats. All right, markets open. Tesla also. Tesla's just going to new highs. We talked about Tesla yesterday, and people thought I was a little bit nuts at that point. But Tesla was about, I think it was 445, 444, something like that, in that range. And I said we need to clear 451, and then once we clear 451, we take it up to 460, 464. That's what we got yesterday. If you look at Tesla's chart, it went bananas yesterday. It went above our entry. Again, I plotted this out in that stream in premium, and we went all the way up to 460 plus. Pre-market now, it went to 479. Now it's pulling back. Delivery numbers. Let's see what that is going in at. They beat expectations on deliveries. So let me look at that real quick. While we let this kind of play out the first few minutes, I'm just going to look through this Tesla news for the deliveries, see what I can find here. Tesla deliveries come in strong. Trump is responsible. Okay. Oh, he's probably responsible because people jumped at buying the Tesla before that federal tax credit went away. So the deliveries for Tesla was 497,000 cars in the third quarter. That's up 29.4% from 384,000 vehicles in the second quarter, and up 7.4% from 462,000 in the third quarter of 2024. So that is some huge numbers that came in for Tesla, probably because of that tax is going to be taken off, that tax credit, which is not available anymore now, starting from October 1st. So maybe that was a reason why they got huge numbers. That's 29% is huge. Just think about that. In one quarter, how much higher it went, 29% higher. So that's crazy. That's amazing. Let me go through here. PMI, yes, I see that PMI delayed. It could be because the government shut down. If you read about it before they actually shut down, they said they're probably not going to release these numbers, job numbers, big data numbers. They're not going to release those numbers because the government will be shut down. That department will be. So maybe that's a reason why we don't have those numbers. Fair to say, right? Looks like we're living a better life without the government, anyways, here in Penny Boys. So it's okay. Let me have a look. And guys, if you have questions, it's a good stream to ask those questions, and any tickers you want me to look at, I can definitely do that in this stream as well. So I'm just gonna watch for SPY. That was a pretty nice wick down, but look what the buyers did. They just ate that right back up again. So no trade yet for me. I'm on a 3-minute time frame now. It's a better time frame for me for an entry. So yeah, Tesla's up 1.7%. What else we got going up today? Snapchat is one that I like. I think if Tesla can get back above 470 soon, I think that may be a good entry for some calls again. Above 470, we're about 468. So no play for me right now. I'm just going to be watching SPY. And there is some sell side volume coming in, right? So yesterday was a little different. If we look at yesterday's, go back to yesterday's market open, we had a lot of buying right here, right from the get-go. Right today, we have some selling coming in, so could be primed for a downside move here. So I'm gonna look for that break under 669. Even if you want to be a little bit more risk on, then you can also take a trade on the 670 and down to these targets, and then continuation down lower from there. That will be a higher risk trade because we could easily just drop below this area and bounce back. So you just have to keep a tight stop loss in place if you do decide to go a little bit more risky on the trade. But you can definitely trade this on the 670 to 669 target, and then these can be continuation from there. I can put this line as a continuation point. Let me add a list to this as well. Create a new list. I'm going to put this as watch list trades. If you're a day trader, you like the watch list trades, I'm going to bring those up as well. Bring those up in the chat. This is the watch list this morning. I'm going to add that to this this list. Let's see what we got. So those are the top 4 that I found pre-market. Let's see what else is moving now as well. I want to add TSHA as well. Put a few of these in my top list. Oh, Can. Anyone in Can, guys? That is also one that we have that deal. There's some disclaimers a part of that write-up, but just make sure you look at that. But Can is up to 121. Huge move. And just remember, I was just updating this every single day pretty much where we want to take this to. And Can totally broke out to 121 now. Above this 112 that I talked about yesterday in the stream. If we get above $1, which is right here, we're going to take this to that high right here, which we just got above that. So if you're in Can, you're up probably 30-40% at this point. There's no need to take, try to go as, YOLO and try to take this as much as you can higher. The best thing you can do is protection now to your downside. So protect those profits. It doesn't matter if you want to take some off the table and then put a stop loss in. That's an opportunity. If you want to stay in your whole position, I'm not saying sell it, but just have something to protect that profit, because it's up to 123, and we were talking about this trade in the 70s. So no need to take away your profits at this point and try to YOLO as high as possible. Just protect it. Put a stop loss in place. Even if you want to trim, you can trim. If you want to take full profit, and just run with it. That's totally fine too. You don't need to be the one that's trying to max the profit out to the very top and sell at the top. Or you want to stay in your position, just have a stop loss in now. Protect your profit. No need to be a hero at this point for everyone. Not financial advice. That's what I'm saying. We gave you many options, right? So that's not financial advice. I'm just giving you 5 or 5,000 different options to pick from. It's getting hot in this room. Whew. That's a nice trade right there. 125. Charlie, I know you got some of that. Come on. Share that. Give us some love there with Can, because I know you've been following that all the way through and asking about it. So I'm super hyped that this one played out perfectly for everyone here. And like I say, we share these. We're not just going to share some garbage setups. They're actually really good potential in these trades. You just got to plan for every scenario still. But the potential in these trades are pretty nice. Okay, Seda Brown, 70 cents to $1.25. Man. Smoking that trade is. I could have done it any better than Sailor Brown, let me tell you. Let's see here. Looks like downside action for SPY still. So we got some downside here. Like I was saying, it's not a clean buying as like yesterday. Yesterday was a lot of buying. Now we got some sell side volume, pretty strong coming into this market open. So downside, like I say, puts you could play under 670 for more risk. And then if you want a little bit less risk, you know, you want a clear breakdown, we can look for this breakdown under 669, play into that gap fill opportunity and maybe lower from there. So anyone take a trade for SPY options yet? So I know people love those SPY trades. Oh, this one looks juicy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like this one. So you see the volume, look at that volume coming in right from market open. That's what we like to see. Price action is going to follow behind. So let me put on VWAP here. So this one, the entry for IVDA was a break above 170. We're up to 194 now. Target 185. Second target $2. So what do you do if you're in at the break of 170 and you're up to 194 now? What are you going to do with your plan? Are you going to take a loss? Are you going to stay in? You're going to raise your stops? What are you going to do? Take some profit? What's your game plan for this one if it's up this high already? I wouldn't be taking a loss. I'd be protecting my profit. So at first target, maybe trim a little bit, then raise up my stop to either break even or above, just to guarantee myself I'm not going to take a loss in this trade anymore. IVDA up to 195 high, so that is a good profit. We broke VWAP, we broke the SMA 20 ribbons curling up right behind. We got volume. RSI is a little bit overbought. So even if the RSI decides, you know, if we want to reset, maybe we reset here and bounce off this support here. A little reset in the RSI. But you've got to prepare for the momentum to fall off as well. If buyers come in and then they sell their position and they flood in with sell side, then this could be all over. This momentum trade could be all over pretty quickly. So that's why I always say protect your profits and no need to take a loss when you're in. Profit from the entry. So we got support here about 187. If we lose 187, VWAP could be the next opportunity of a bounce, which is 177. SPY is now losing, like we say. This is a clear, nice trend to the downside for SPY so far, guys. So pull anyone take SPY puts so far? Let me go to the chat. Let's see. I can go through some of these tickers, and if I forget, just put it back in the chat again, so I can get to it. But SPY is definitely falling. Like I said, most risk on here is under 670. You're in good profits now. We're losing 669 nearly. Here we go. We're dropping 668. This one is clearly sell side. Look at the volume and look at the price action. We're not going to see a lot of selling like this and price action go to a new high, right? So always look at that volume. So this is where we got to look. This area here, I put a line right here. Boop. We may hold this area here and start pushing off. So we always have to have, just keep an eye on these levels too. This is pre-market. We bounce from here. Not really strong volume, but it could be a level that we bounce. So you always kind of keep your eyes peeled. And like I say, if you want to learn any of these strategies, pop into my coaching. If you don't want to get into premium right away, you want to start somewhere, definitely look into the coaching. It's a good place to start to learn the strategy. get yourself in a good place, good consistency, and then you can maybe hop over to premium to get those alerts, and not copy them, but understand them and trade them based on confirmation that you've learned over time, right? So it's a great place to start in the coaching side. And I do equity, so I do day trading, swing trading. On the equity side, I do the watch list every morning, and I do swing trading as well. So if you want a bit of that action, come join me. If you want option action, then you go join the Swing and Ball. He has passive options, selling options, make some money, do the wheel strategy. It's very consistent too, and you can make some really good passive income every month doing that. So we got two different options for you, options, and then we also have the equity side. So we've got SPY some action right off this level here, right? So look at that. RSI was super oversold on this 3-minute chart too, so we got a little bounceroo. Can up to 132. Woo! Now, give me some emojis if you've been in Can and you're taking some profit, you're making some money. Give us some emojis. Give us some high five emojis or some thumbs up. I know some of you guys have made some money on this. So blast that chat with some happy faces. Sailors made money. Come on, it's got to be more than they've been following the watch list. See what else we got. So this one's 132. Madness. Let me go back to SPY as well. So I haven't taken a trade for SPY yet, but I'm gonna look to take one soon here. Oh yeah, there we go. I like that. That's exciting right there. Yeah, give me a big hug. Def Gun, I don't know how you took losses on IVDA. I told you know, once you get above entry and you're in good profit, why take a loss in this trade? There needs to be, we need to talk about maybe a strategy that, you know, you don't have to always stay in and try to sell at the top of every trade. Once it meets your goal, you get out. That was at least 10-15% profit on the table from entry. So no need to take a loss, no need. And that's where we can work with it, maybe more hands-on with a strategy, a plan that gets you out of that mindset of having to take a loss when there was clear profit on the table. So, I mean, I got to talk to you on the side, I suppose. For you, it was okay, but you got in a little high there. Got in at 189. So, was there a lot of confirmation for you to jump in at 189? We got to think about having some kind of confirmation before just jumping into the hype of a trade because it's got momentum. There's no need to catch it at the top and enter at the top. You're basically the liquidity for the sell side, right? So you don't want to do that. Yes, you're able to rewatch this video. It's recorded. Absolutely. But DefCon, just DM me, you know, reach out for help because we're not mind readers here. You know, if you need help, the best thing to do is communication, reach out, let us know, and we can try to work with you and get something so that you're more consistent with your P&L every month, every year, every week. You know, set yourself some goals, meet those goals, and then not having to overtrade and try to, you know, catch more. Because, you know, if you set yourself goals and you met your goals, why force anything else? That's just pretty much gambling at that point. If you just want more and more and more, that's kind of what happens with gambling, right? You get on yourself on a run and you say, I'm going to go big on the next one. I met my goal, but I want to go all in. And then at that all in, you lose everything because you didn't need to, but you just, you know, have that addiction maybe. to just having to trade. So just kind of treat this as an extra side hustle or a job. You're in there to do a job. You're in there to make your money, and then you're in there to be done once you met that goal. You don't have to stay here all day long and do it. So SPY downside. If we lose 669 here, I think we have a huge opportunity to get down to the mid 668. Puts again some weight on SPX. Okay. Yeah, Pookie, let us know. Let us know. Keep us informed. So SPY coming down. In CAN, I would be looking for definitely a tighter stop loss now in CAN. I will not be taking, I'm not going to have my stop loss at 10-15% lower than this price now. This has been a very successful trade. No need to lose that 10-15% lower. So I'd be putting a very tight stop on CAN now. It's up 25% for the day. DFLI, this is one that I'm going to watch, trying to break VWAP as well. This could be a nice move once we break over our entry. I'm also going to put this trend line down here as well. We've got that resistance trend line right here, and we're trying to break that right here. So I'm going to watch this. We're trying to get back above VWAP. This is DFLI. This is Dragonfly Energy. If we can now stay above VWAP, which is 72.50 on this next couple of candles, then this could have momentum right back towards 75, back towards 79, 78 up here, right? So that's what I would be looking for this one. And then maybe it goes higher from there. And you can just follow up with a trading stop loss. But these are the targets that I would be aiming for once we get and hold above VWAP on these next couple of candles here. So the volume tried to come in here. Also, look at the green side of the volume. It's now starting to mix in a lot more green. So if this can continue like this on the volume, the RSI is above 50 as well. Things are looking better. And we can also put the chart up here if you want to see more of the trend and momentum. We can put this chart here and you can see the trend momentums. Look, it's a bit mixed, but more bullish than bearish at this moment in time. But we're having a little bit of a hard time at that VWAP break. So 72.50 needs to break with velocity, and then we're going to start get that move right up to kind of where it was pre-market here. So it's got a snag right here on VWAP. So there's no trade on this until we can clear VWAP and hold above it. So that's 72.50, 72.60 is kind of what we need to get back above and hold above. Triple digits on SPY. Oh my goodness. I grabbed the SPY put just as it started that big green 3-minute candle. But JWAG, did you stay in that one because then it just fall off after that? This one right here, I'm assuming this candle right here is where you bought, and then we got met with a nice engulfing red candle. Look at that. Look at that though. Look at that volatility here, back and forth between buying and selling. We got a big drop off, buyers step back in, sellers step back in, now buyers step back in. This is a fight down here in this little area. And this is all kind of at that pre-market low that we saw here. So, and that's the start of the gap right here. So this is a big fight right at this level. If we can lose 669 and close under it, then I think it's game on to more downside momentum. Oh, nice and thick today. Let's see. I'm in it to win it. Okay. Just as long as you got that max stop loss in, and then you're good. I got into SPY puts. Did you make any money on SPY puts on that one? Ram, should I say? Sorry, I mispronounced your name. It's your year, Ram. Bag zone, hold DVLT. Well, let me have a look at. Let's have a look at this one first. Oh, this one's nice. I talked about this on the stream yesterday. Remember? This one is one I love. I said above 140 on the stream, and we hit 165 this morning. So DVLT is a data vault AI, and this is one that I've brought out in my swing picks for the week at 32-cent break like 2 weeks ago. It's been non-stop going higher from here. So this one has some partnership with IBM. They just secured some funding as well, DVLT. And there's a lot of hype and volume behind this name right now. So if we can stay above 140 and just hold above 140, I think our next target would be 195 to $2. That's kind of what I'd be aiming for DVLT. And I can bring that up here on the left on the list. It's up 12% today. It was up as high as 165 pre-market. This one, if you go on the daily, quite the move, right? Look at that. And this is when I said once we broke this level down here, I was on like the 2 hour or something down here. Once we broke this level here, and I can extend it a little bit more. Once we broke this downwards trend, then we're looking to take a trade. But look at the volume that coming in on these days here. And if you go to the daily, we haven't seen that volume ever until recently. So big signal there, a lot of buying volume, but it's engulfed everything that it lost. And, you know, looking at maybe that target here being about 174. If we can clear 174, then that $2 will come pretty quickly, I think, after that. So once we clear here, up here, then I think we just keep on going to 2+. But quite the V-shape reversal, right? This is a beautiful chart that reversed lovely. To do with AI, a lot of hype behind it. So SPY falling down. Let's see if we get a total gap fill here to 668.55. I'm gonna put that line right there. Get rid of this circle. Get rid of this up here for now. So downside is the opportunity for today. SPY to 200. Go ahead. Short it, Pookie. Short it. Do it. Please. Let's buy it at the bottom. 200. Buy at the bottom. I'm for that. Just reset. Everything reset so we can all buy at the bottom again for the next ride up. So there's just a lot of volatility right here in this little like 30-40 cent range right here. Buyers don't want to let go of it, but once it's gone, it's gone. Next session SPY is cancelled. I think so. Pookie, I think that would. If we just totally reset, like on the daily or the weekly SPY, just go all the way down to like RSI at 20 or something, just totally oversold. And then we grab it at the reversal there. Man, we will all just be billionaires here. We just be hanging out for fun, all of us, at that point. Or we just all meet up and just trade in person together. That would be fun. So if you look at the trend, the momentum, the pressure here, mixed, but bearish. I think there's a lot more signals bearish at the moment than bullish. So keep that in mind. The volume's a little bit more bullish, it's saying right now, but there's a lot of bearish on this chart on the top right corner. Yeah. I mean, I think we talked about that, meeting up in person just to either hang out and to trade, just casually trade. That would be pretty cool. And then Traders Paradise would be the learning experience every year in person. So I should buy one more of these, maybe. I like to spy to the downside here. Just let it go. Let it go. Our DVLI is going. We got to that target that we're aiming for here, 75. And then if we can get through 75, then we have an opportunity to get to pre-market highs here. That goes as high as 79. So if we can get through this resistance here, about 75.20, then we have opportunity to trade this up. And all this is using the same simple strategy that you can learn, and using the ribbon, using VWAP and some other volume, and then you just make the plan. And these things can easily be learned and just bring consistency and not overwhelm you with too many indicators. I have a couple of thousand in my account. What should I buy, guys? What am I buying today? I have some cash available. What am I buying? And why am I buying it? That's the question I should probably ask you guys before blasting those out there. MSTU? Is that Microsoft? Oh, you know a good time when I asked you, huh? We got a MSTR. Is this long 2x? You love me some leverage trades. That's for sure. You know me and leverage. If I don't want to leverage trade like with options, I don't want to option trade. I just find the 2x's to the good setups I like and just trade the 2x leverage stocks instead. I get 2x the daily move. Why not? Okay, this is up to high of day, 76 cents so far. High of day for DVLI. Def gun, that IVDA is starting to move up a little bit. So this, after this initial big push, we're still holding above VWAP. We're still above the ribbon. Things are still positive. We're kind of stuck though. We need some more buying pressure to get us back over this level of 187, and then we take it to 2+ this time around. But we need more volume to come in and start pushing this baby up higher. If we don't get it, we may just be stagnant here and not do anything. So we need some more volume coming into this IVDA, take it back above 187, and then I think the second time around we could get to $2. So I would just be paying close attention to that 187 pivot on that one. This one rejection got to as high as 76.20. A little profit from that 72 break. But I do like that idea, TNT. MSTU is T-Rex 2x long of MicroStrategy. If you like crypto and you believe crypto is going to keep going up and finding new highs, then this may be a good leverage ETF to grab. If you believe in MicroStrategy's business model, you believe crypto is going to continue to go higher. That means their Bitcoin balance will go higher, right? It'll be worth more because that's what they've been doing. Just kind of raising cash to buy Bitcoin. That's what they're doing. And then when Bitcoin keeps going up higher, the value of their holdings are going up higher too. They're making money. And then they're also doing some kind of loan stuff as well, right? That they're offering. So if you believe in MicroStrategy, maybe you don't want to buy the stock. What's it at now? $500, $400. You may want to buy something that follows along. You're not going to get, if there's a dividend attached to the actual stock, you're not going to get that. But what you're going to get is a 2x move of the daily action that we see here. So I'm assuming MicroStrategy is up 4% at this point, right? So let's have a look. MicroStrategy, which is, I don't know what, is it this one? Yeah, strategy. Yeah, it's up 4% today. So the leverage one, which is MSTU, is up 8% today. So if there's a lot of volume coming into the actual stock, why not try, the leverage? You can keep the same risk factor in place. If you still have a plan where your max stop is 5%, 10%, there should be no more risk a part of getting into a leverage trade if you've got that tight plan in place anyways. So if there's a lot of volume coming into the actual stock, I like to look at the cheaper option of a 2x leverage, take advantage of that bigger move for the day. If it's 4%, you're getting 8%. If it's 20%, you're getting 40%. So that's how you can take advantage, but you can cap your risk as well. 5%, 10%, whatever you want to do, you can always cap the risk so it's not accelerated just because it's the leverage. Yep. So DFLI is a good shout right now. This one's moving, yeah. I mean, we did look for the break above here, right? So the entry would have been about 72.50. We got up to 76. Now, continuation-wise, the volume it's not strong volume. This isn't what I call strong whatsoever. I want to see some more of this over here. And if we get more of this kind of bars, the big volume coming in, then this will definitely get back up to pre-market highs, 79.80 cents up here. But when it kind of just drops off and the volume, we have this buy side volume and then we start to see some selling coming in, it may just stay flat or it may just sell off pretty quickly. So you want to just see the follow through in the volume to give yourself a little bit more confidence and more confirmation in the trade. And then also resistance points, right? If we can't get breakthrough resistance, then that's also a little red flag too. So we need to get through resistance points for continuation to the next level. And you just keep on doing that. Break the next level, you aim for the next resistance, It can be very, very easy. Like now it's selling off again. So a little fiddly. It's kind of trade. PDYN. Oh, that one is doing well. Let's see what we have a trade for this one. If you guys are looking for a short-term swing trade, this one could be a good idea. PDYN, another AI kind of name, right? That's been running up pretty nicely on the daily. It's got a lot of green. This was a trade back then, but it already here. Let's get rid of that one. For this one, on the 4 hour, get rid of everything else here. So with this one, I'd just be looking for a very clean cut clearance of this, and then aim for these levels next as targets. So aim for here, aim for up here. I don't always go to the top of the wick. I get my eyes on it before it touches that clean resistance at the top of the wick, just in case it sells off heavily once it rejects. So I get my eyes on it before that happens. And then we can aim up here, say right there. So this one could be a very clean opportunity. This is PDYN. And if you want a short-term swing, this could be one. We just need to clear this area here. So we're kind of coming up to it right now, right? And this also meets this area here on the bigger time frame. And then once we break that area, which is about 945, is that 945? No, 960, sorry. Once we break 960, play up to the next level. So above 960, we play up to here, which is here. And that is around 1058 to 1060. And if we clear that level, then we could be on our way to these highs up here. Once I get to this level, maybe I raise my stop just under that level for protection of my position. And then for continuation, I look for that $12 plus level next. Once we break through and start pushing above that level. But then I have a clean stop loss just under it. So I'm protecting my profit as well, as much as I can, right? So we could do that. This is definitely a this AI incorporated company. Yeah, SPY looks a little bit crazy, right? I need a clean break now. That is crazy, those kind of candles. So this is a short-term swing that could definitely get you about 20%, which is nice, right? Who doesn't want 20%? Just planning out this little trade really quickly. Once we get above that 960, then I'd be looking a daily close above 960, and then I'd be looking to take an entry to the 10s, to the 11s, to the 12s, and try to top out over here. And then if we get above there, then we can just keep raising our stops to keep us in as long as possible, and not have any anxiety or stress behind it. We can go as high as this level here. So what is that? That's around 15. So, there's also areas where we can go higher from here if we keep breaking. So get above 960, aim for the mid 10s, add for 11 to 12, and then above 12s, add, maybe the 14, 15, which is a nice 50% gain from our entry originally if we get up there. And you can look also, let's have a look at stock analysis and see if there's any revenue for this company real quick. Revenue is kind of low. It's actually cut in half. So it's probably a big hype behind just AI, unless they got something product that they're working on that's going to accelerate their revenue maybe over the next couple of years. You'd have to kind of dig a little bit deeper, obviously. Net income still very negative. Margins are bad. I'm just looking over this real quick. Cash is low. Oh, it's low. Liability, there's no long-term debt though on this company. Liability is much lower than the assets. So it looks like a startup kind of company at this point, right? Trying to get their footing. Average is 8, so the price target is average about 15% below. So we want to see definitely momentum come into this name to take this swing trade, and it's a short term. If it turns out to where revenue decides to increase, they got some product that's just bringing their revenue up hundreds of percent in growth, then that's maybe something where you change from a short term swing to a long term swing. If you start to see margins go positive, you start to see income go positive, you start to see cash flow increase to positive, everything kind of going in the right direction, then this may be something that you hold long term. But until that happens, it just be a short term swing based on technical analysis until that happens fundamentally. Let me go down to SPY now, because we're, a lot of traders are in this one. We love this one. It's dropping now. So we filled that gap. Look at that. That gap is filled right on the money. Right here is the gap fill, and it's holding that level right now on the bottom of that gap. So if we lose this level, which is 668.50, then we have opportunity to come down to 668, 667s. But we completed this gap fill here now, so we could start finding a low for the day. We shall see what happens. Anyone take puts and in some good profit? Let me see. Oh, you have no audio? I'm sorry if you have no audio. All my mic settings are fine. Up 5% on puts. Yeah, Charlie, above 960. So Charlie, above 960 is what I'd be looking to take that PDYN. Personally, that's what I'm looking for, above 960, and then take it up to the mid 10s first, and then making sure I raise my stop up so it's not going to take a loss from there. And then I look at the 12s next after that. Still a lot of mixed volume, but there's still a lot more bearish trend and momentum and pressure in SPY right now. There's no need to try to be the hero and guess the bottom of the day until we start to see some of these show positive readings. Volumes falling off. You got RSI bearish below 50. You got the MA, which is like a crossover MA, probably 13 and 50. Or 9 and 13, one of those, 5 and 9, showing bearish as well. So MACD is strong bearish. So everything right now is telling me if I'm a bull, hold on. No need to buy, right? Why am I buying and trying to guess the bottom here? I'm not going to be a hero. I'm going to keep drinking my coffee while this plays out. And, a question for you guys. If you got a strategy and a plan for for your trading, type 1 in the chat. If you don't and you want to learn about a strategy or a plan that can get you more consistent, press 2 in the chat. Press 3 if you just want a YOLO. So I'd love to see number 2s and number 1s more, obviously. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, if you have a strategy and a plan that works for you, you can type 1. If you don't have a strategy, you don't have a plan, you're just kind of following what everyone else is doing, but you want to learn the strategy and the plan that's more consistent, type 2. Type 3 if you just YOLO and you don't care. But hopefully you don't type that. I should never have gave that option. That's funny. Damn me for saying that. 2 to 3. Yen, I'm going to reach out to you. Yen, and we're going to get you sorted here. Let's see if we can get you on a path where you have a strategy and plan that you can just be more consistent and trade less. Who doesn't want to trade less and be more consistent and have a nice green P&L? We don't need to be trading all day long. If we have something consistent, we can just trade an hour or 2 of the day and move on for the day. That's kind of what it should be like for day trading and for swing trading. We shouldn't be here all day looking. So I'm gonna reach out to you, and I'm gonna talk to you and see what we can do, and see if we can help you. So SPY continuation. Anyone that is still in SPY, you want to see that breakdown of this gap fill down here below the top of the bottom of this gap. We want to lose that, and then we have opportunity to play it to the next level, 668.22, and then down to 668, should we say. If this is bottom, then all you do is protect your put profit, and you don't take a loss in it if you're buying up here, right? IVDA, we're up to 199, very close to that $2 that we were hoping for. So I wouldn't be, waiting on a 1 cent up higher if you're in it from the 170s, or you got in it on the 187 break again. that's close enough to the $2 range. But if we can still build momentum here, which is volume is still coming in, RSI is still strong, we can maybe get over that $2 towards 210, 212 up here from this area here. So unless the volume falls off again, we have a good opportunity to maybe take this to 2+. But if that volume starts to fall off, then that's where I just make sure my protection is there again. Okay. Just going to stay on this. This is the money maker for us. Money maker for the day. This is a nice clean move to the downside. Here we go. Oh yeah, Dad is in the house. Look at this. Big Quench is here. Looking at his thousands of % gains on his option trades. Just saying which one should he sell today? Or maybe he sells some options for it. Who knows? It's okay. It's nice being him. Right? He's new here. Someone hook him up with coaching. Maybe he needs some of that rag to riches. These again. Yeah, keep bringing them in, Porter. You must have like a whole folder of Austin's just images to use. Oh yeah, and rag to riches definitely shows that too. We're compounding with these dividends, and then using even a drip. Just reinvest in your dividend payouts. Also, could build your position, get better, dividend payouts over time, which could really build up your account over the years, right? And I love dividend trades and dividend stocks, but also I like to find them. It's a little different. I like to find them on the bottoms, reversing to the upside. So I'm also making a lot of money on the reversals, not grabbing them at the top of their, of their chart. Try to find them in the mid or low on the reversals, and then grab the dividend stocks, and then I make the dividend money and make some money on my position. I love to find those. Like to find those little bargains, Not every one of them are bargains, so you have to do your research. But I do like to find some good old dividend stocks that will pay me passively. Oh, J-Wag's coming in, Quench. You have that momentum, Quench, to be selling your holdings, tank SPY, and we will grab the bottom with you. Oh yeah, I like the idea. Like, this is it. Quench comes in here, says, "Oh, I'm the savior. I'm the one who mentioned Salva at $2." But let's be honest, who really mentioned that at $2? He asked for it. I gave it to him, and it went to $144. But he can have that one. It's okay. I'll be outside Penny Boy's headquarters with like a little tip jar. It's okay. Help me. Tips wanted. Sava in itself should just have paid for that headquarters, that Penny Boy's headquarters, like the biggest building in Chicago. It should have just paid for that, just all that profit. that was made from $2 to $140. I mean, come on. Even the Robin Hood should be paying for that too. I don't know what it's at now, 1,500%, those options, 2,000%, whatever they are, craziness. There should be a big PB logo somewhere around. Like a bat signal. All right, so yeah, so SPY clean move, just how we kind of played out, right? Below this entry, either the 670 breakdown or the 669 breakdown. Filled the gap. Now it's just gonna chill here and either bounce and start finding that bottom for the day, or we start just continue to kind of roll over and met with some selling pressure. The volume's not very strong, especially compared with yesterday. So maybe a quiet day. Like I said, can is definitely blasting all the way up today. So you don't need option trades to make a lot of money. You can definitely have some lower risk equity swings or day trades where you can just make still 50, 70, 100% on your trades, and you don't need to be trading the options all the time. Underrated equity trading is. So with CAN, if you've been in CAN, I would say we get above this resistance and meets very well here. So what level we got there? We get above one. What did I put that line at right there? Is that the high? So 135 break for CAN. You can likely see 145 to 146 next. And then, you know, this chart looks like it's a clean reversal on the bigger time frames weekly. I mean, we could definitely see 146, and then right here we can see maybe 190, 185 to 190 could be another option if this continues on this path here. Very strong on the weekly. Look at this volume here. So I love that. Got about 4 minutes, guys, before I head out. So any questions, any charts you want me to look at? Hit me with your bet shot, and I'd take a look. Oh yeah, TNT normally nearly that 10 bagger, right, on those calls for next year even. My goodness. RR, is that a ticker or is that our rest and retire product? RR, is that robotic one? Ticker? All right. Are you looking for a swing or are you looking for a day trade? What are you looking at? Oh, this is nice. Look at this. Let's get rid of VWAP here now. Get rid of this VWAP. All right. Oh, we were looking at this. This was our buy-in zone here at 315. Oh, it went as high as 570. Right here. So for this, we're at 499. I'd be aiming to take up that 570. That would be my next target to aim for. There's not really much holding it back from moving up there. We got the SMA ribbon curling up behind. We got volume. I think that we could be on our way to this area again. So that'd be probably my next target. If you're in this trade down here somewhere, all you have to do is protect your position with stops or raising or a trading stop loss. No need to go red on the trade, but I'd be looking to take this to up here, 570 again. If we break 570, do we have any more data? We do. So with this one, just look at the next resistance point to aim for. So above 570 would be 650. Let's look over here. Let's keep on putting these levels here. So yeah, with this one, got momentum, nice reversal off these, making higher lows, right? Because we got this, let's look at the chart here. We got this high here, we got this low here, we also have this low here. we have this high up here again. We pull back to this level, and now we're trying to move back. So this is a bullish pattern where we're seeing we could potentially go up there, right? We're seeing a low, higher low, high, and then higher low, higher, high, higher low, and then potentially we can get at that higher high would be our next target point. So 650, maybe towards 7 would find that next high up here if we continue with the volume, and then we pull back down to make a higher low again, and then we go to a higher high. So overall, this is a bullish pattern that we're seeing on the chart, because we got on the 4-hour time frame, we got low, higher lows, higher highs. So very bullish pattern at this point for this RR until that changes. If we start to see some lower highs, and then we start to see, it break down like this, where we start to see lower highs, lower lows, then that's a clear bearish signal of a pattern again, and we start to see a downwards trend. But right now we're seeing this pattern where we could continue to see that higher high, higher low come in and continue, right? So right now, not bad. If we can take out those highs, then we're going to get that higher high, and we continue on our bullish pattern for RR. So I do like that. Was it Bagzer? Already in at 4. So you're in nice profit, 20% plus. So just have the number one thing when I get into the trade is obviously you have your entry, your targets, but the number one thing is the protection in place, your stop loss, your max risk that you're willing to take, and making sure that you can, if you're going to risk 5%, make sure that the first target you can get 10%, 15% out of it to make it worthwhile, that risk. So always have, when I get into a trade, I always make sure I have that, that max risk in place, that my stop out area, where my stop loss is going to be, or I'm going to have a physical one, a mental one, whatever one you decide is going to be in place. And then obviously when we start to move up, our targets can be can be made at next resistance point and adjusted on the way up. That's easy to take profits. It's protection that's the hardest part for people, traders to kind of get and to hold their plan is the hardest part, is the stop loss. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I have coaching in 30 minutes. So you want to be a part of the coaching, learn the strategies, get more consistent. Share the link if you guys can in the chat. And then we start our coaching at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I will see you guys then. It was fun. We traded SPY. We made some money. Also, a few of those watch list trades. Look for continuation. Follow the volume. And make some money there. So I'll see you at the coaching. Bye for now. Hopefully I'm not sick next week. Sorry, guys. See ya. See you in 30 minutes. Be there. Thank you, guys.